didn't really um, didn't really represent exactly what you're trying to say, right? So I'd be a little bit careful, right? I think Priyanka will go into detail about what I mean by that. And then your conclusion really should kind of loop back, or ideally can loop back to the imagery or a scene that you are portraying of being on the rooftop, like, or just screaming, right? At the top of your lungs. And I think you, in the introduction, need to go back and look at how you define freedom and how are you going to describe what freedom is to you. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So actually, while Amy was talking, I kind of got a closing hook for you, but we'll discuss it. I'm going to screen share.
Yeah.
This is just very quickly done, Soumya. So don't go by it. You know, obviously it's looking more red than it's meant to be. So don't freak
Don't
out
worry.
yet.
Don't worry.
Yeah. Yeah, because children get so freaked out. So what I was thinking is, Soumya, we could start with an active voice, you know, where you're like, ah, if you can see my comments, ah, we were all screaming in unison from the sunroof of the car. Okay, feeling such freedom after 2 months of day and night active studying or whatever, you know, and you can describe as the wind rushed on our face, we felt the freedom, we felt the joy, whatever you wanted to, but you could literally start with that screaming, because there's a screaming there. Do not try and connect it so quickly into what you want to say. Okay, that's your opening hook. Okay, then you can say a sense of freedom is important for you to just let yourself go and truly experience the emotions that surround you. Okay, and move on to the next paragraph, where you say freedom to my family, you know, freedom within my family has been a very strong statement. And then describe a little here that the women in my family have always had the freedom to achieve what they wanted, and talk a little about what they've achieved. Like, you know, your grandmother, maybe when she was having children, she was trying to study, or when she couldn't speak English, but she was trying to do a course, or your mother who may have got married, or whatever, one or two small stories, and say, I also had that freedom, but sometimes I almost felt confined and trapped, blah, blah, blah. With all the overachiever, it's difficult. Now, here I added this line. Um, I always shared my opinions on their conversations, but craved to have a conversation that was my own, one that I was leading. Because this kind of leads you to the transition of the next paragraph. Right. Okay. Because that, you know, you show your craving for that. Then it says, but I never thought it would come from reading an article online about yet another rape case that went unsolved. And
I wasn't sure if like it was okay to use the word, if it might be sensitive.
Your entire essay is about rape. Yes, you
Yeah,
have to use it.
you will have to use it, right? But definitely don't introduce it in the very first line and compare your freedom with that of a victim. Like, they're not the same. So let's remove that entirely and focus on your definition of freedom and how that's led you to start your own organization, right?
Exactly. So the first paragraph is exactly what Amy said. You expressing your freedom and explaining your freedom and where it came from. Okay. Soumya, write this down because you will forget. Expression of your freedom. What does freedom mean to you and where it comes from? The whole relevance of freedom. The second paragraph is, where did you think that leadership came from? A case that went unsolved. Then, you know, you were just saying we couldn't solve a case, but we could prevent it. Now, that's a line that could come much later. You have to talk about it. Like, what was happening in the country? Why was this happening? Why did they feel so unsafe? Why did you as a woman, as a girl, feel so unsafe to go out? And what were the solutions available and what you felt about them? The pepper spray or the 911, or even being simply in an Uber. You know, there's so many things that, so bring that. The next paragraph would be where you and your friends decided you'll want to do something, where even if you couldn't stop it, at least you could try and have a call for help. Okay, so that would be your third paragraph, the call for help. Now, here you have to explain first, the violation whistle was not just a way for women to protect herself. I don't even know what the violation whistle is. Where did you learn about it? What is it? Who's using it? How has it been successful? How did you how did you come across it? What did you and your friends discuss about it? That it couldn't have been the only idea you all had. So build it up. There's no story. That's what Amy was trying to say, is that it's very obviously you've just got 1 hour, so it's obviously going to be a rush job, but I need the whole story here and more about this whole violation whistle.
Yeah, sorry,
Okay.
explain what it is and more about.
Everything. Where did you come across it? How did you all argue about it? How did you all try it? Did you all
The
go out in the
process.
night? Yeah, the process. Exactly the word. Correct. Process. Thanks, Amy. Okay. I think you've done with this whole women thing in the first, so I kind of felt we didn't need to bring it again. Amy, is that correct?
This actually needs to be emphasized in the intro, so that when she mentions
Exactly.
it,
Yeah, I agree.
and, yeah.
So bring in the
Mothers and women in your family, not just people in my family, but women in my family. That needs to be mentioned in the beginning so that it makes sense why you're focusing on violence against women and rape. Right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so I know the women in your family, including your sister. Each one of them has fought challenges. Okay, I'm obviously not going to go into the details because you will do that in your essay. I don't want Amy to know it from me. I want her to know it from you. Okay, so you need to do that, and then so this was a paragraph. Frankly, not everyone agreed with our mindset. I thought, oh, so well written, till Amy made me realize that who cares? Obviously, you are not taken seriously. Everyone's not taken seriously. What did you do about it is what is not written. You've taken too much time to write, oh, they didn't take me seriously. But you know what? Ha, I would rather, she's right. How did you build it? Why did you build it? What did you do? What was the impact? You know, that whole where people Sundays sat up to notice, take you seriously, that journey has to be explained rather than people didn't care about us. That sounds like a bit of a wah wah. Yeah.
This needs to be focused on your reaction. Right? I feel like you really need to think about, okay, in the face of a setback or a challenge, how do I react? How did I react? And how do I demonstrate that? It's like you're showing leadership and you're showing problem solving and a bunch of like critical skills, right? That would be really worthwhile for you to hire, rather than talking about context. Right now, you have to go personal. What was your personal reaction to setbacks or like people not taking you seriously?
And I was thinking, for your conclusion, we were once again on the sunroof, you know, screaming at the top of our lungs. And this time, it was not frustration or anger or freedom of exams, but the ability to possibly have saved one girl or brought some freedom to one more girl outside of the streets, you know, scared to travel alone.
Nice.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's nice. Powerful.
This time because we gave possibly one girl, one or many girls, the freedom to feel safe, to travel alone in the night, whatever, something like that. What do you think, Amy? That really connects, doesn't it?
Yeah, I really like.
Yeah, it does. It's a really powerful image of what you'll be, an impact you'll be leaving on the reader if you end with something like this. I agree.
I have an obsession for the opening and closing hook, pretty obviously. So I'm depending on Amy to hopefully realize that the middle story is far more important. And she made me realize that because I was like, oh, very well written. And she's like, no. So,
it's not about her. It's about other people. I don't care about other people.
and when you said it, Amy, I realized, like, how I was like, oh my gosh, it could have gone so wrong. So, Soumya, I'll send you this feedback, mark a CC to Amy as well. But what you're going to do is put this draft, make the next changes, everything on Google Doc. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And put Amy and me as editors as well. So till we are working on your essay, which is like, I think roughly a week, we'll keep that Google Doc alive.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'll send this because it has a few comments which might help you.
Yeah. Should I just message on the group when I made the changes? Because I'll do it tomorrow.
Yes, please do that. Put it on the group that I have made the changes, so please go on the link. Send us a
I'll just
Google
share
Doc
it as
link,
it is
not
for
on the
now.
group. Not on the group, beta. Make sure you share it to us personally, like on email.
Yeah, no, I'm sharing it personally. I'll message on the group to remind you to
Yeah.
just check it.
Just say that like you've shared it.
Awesome.
Okay.
So Soumya, did that help you? Our comments? And I'm thinking
Yeah, I think
you're
it
at a
was
good
really
start.
helpful. I'll link up.
Yeah. I think you got a great start.
I agree. It's super start. Awesome. So Soumya, I'll have this sent to you and you can sleep now. Good night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Sleep well.
Awesome. I think that's done. Let me share this with her. Do you want me to? Should I send it to you as well, Amy?
Yeah, you can. Not a problem.
Ninad, have you spoken with any of the other people?
Yes, ma'am. They have already shared the Google Doc editing rights with you and Amy on your emails.
Okay, they have.
Yes.
So
Let me
let's
just
start
check.
with Amy. Decide to pick up any one kid, please.
Are we going by alphabetical order or the antithesis of an alphabetical order?
Oh yeah, so we can go the same way. So we've done N S. So the next one N.
Nareen.
Nareen.
Yeah.
Ninad, can you give me Soumya's email address quickly? What is it?
Yeah, give me a second.
Because I want to just send this off and finish it.
It's SAUMI
Yeah.
dot THAKKER
Yeah.
at gmail.com.
SwamiThakkar@gmail.com.
Ratna.
Okay, I'm sending it to you as well, Ninad. If there's any problem or something, you please make sure
Sure.
that
I'll get it resent.
follow up. Okay, so Ninad, where's the Google Doc come to me? It would be on Priyanka or AcceptU, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you got it, Amy?
Yeah. Yeah, I have it.
I haven't got it, Ninad.
I think he shared it with Priyanka at acceptu.com.
Is it?
Yes, ma'am. You must have shared the editing rights.
I haven't got it yet.
Let me just ask him to resend it.
No, I mean, Amy can see that it's come to me. So there's no point him resending it, right, Amy?
Yeah, I don't think I can see if it's come to you.
Oh, okay. So yeah, then you need to check Ninad.
Oh no, wait, yeah, it
doesn't
has come to
seem
you. It has come to you.
Okay.
If you could just reload your.
Actually did.
Ma'am, are you checking it on Outlook?
Yeah.
Then that might be.
Amy, do me a favor. Can you just send it to me on, I'm giving you my personal email address.
Mm-hmm.
Ninad, please ask them to send you a copy now, so that way we don't have to keep depending on you.
I'll ask for viewing rights if that's fine.
Yeah.
Sure.
You want to start discussing with him, Amy? Let him just come online and you can start since you can see it.
Yeah, I can talk to him. I'm just reading it. It's like
Yeah, absolutely.
he hasn't completed it. It's fine. Mm. Yeah, I think they're gonna need a lot more time.
At least they've done some amount of work, I feel. Yeah.
They have.
I mean, I haven't seen Narain's. I thought Soumya's was not a bad start at all. Okay, for some reason, I'm just not getting it. Not in my personal, not on.
Okay, do you want me to share my screen?
Oh, okay. No, I think I've got it. Perfect. Now I've got it. Narain's. I had to request access. Ninad asked them to give me access. Will you share your screen in the meantime, Amy, so I can just read it?
Yeah.
Got it. It's written so much better though from
Yeah.
that last essay, which he had worked for apparently over a month. I mean, this is in 1 hour.
Yeah, this is way better. It still needs work, obviously. I still think he's doing a lot of telling. But like the introduction could use a lot more description and imagery before he starts talking about permutations and combinations in music. And then this, I'm just not really understand. Like, yeah, there is no flow right now, which makes sense, I guess, because he's not done writing.
Carnatic music. I know what he's trying to say,
Yeah.
but he has to give examples. So much similar to, when I'm thinking about this app and that, something like that. If you would make it more his story rather than just saying, oh, oscillate from one to the other in an elegant way so that it can compare. It has to have a story.
Yeah. He's kind of,
Personal.
yeah, he's still not really.
He hasn't got the
Like, this is a nice parallel, like kind of I learned how to go from making noise to playing music. I want to learn how to string my thoughts together in a way that is coherent. Yeah, I think that this is kind of the essence of what he is trying to convey, but then he doesn't know how to piece it together. So however, in the right place and time, ideas are perfect input to drive discussion forward and pave the way for the conversation.
Ninad, did you tell him to give me access? Ninad?
Yes, ma'am. He confirmed to have provided again. Still haven't got it.
No. Got it. No, it's access denied. I'm signed in as India AcceptU at Gmail though.
Yeah, that's why.
Yes, ma'am.
It'd
That's
be
an issue.
Priyanka at
You have to sign in.
But I can't do that, Ninad, because it's come to me on Priyanka at AcceptU now.
But you need to sign into your Gmail account then as Priyanka at AcceptU.
They're not letting me go to my.
Should I send your Gmail account on the group and ask them to add that as an editor?
Yeah, I think you'll have to do that because I use both the accounts.
I'll do that right.
So when I sit down, pick up my lesson, I feel in control. Can we start up? Yeah. So I like the first paragraph actually. I think it gives an introduction to his love for music and the strings. But he says my violin makes them all available. The strings of a violin are continuous. So I actually then would have liked to continue to talk about that. The limitless flexibility is what makes the violin such a powerful instrument. However, the same power is what makes it. That's a nice line. How about Amy? Can I talk, or are you still reading?
Yeah, no, please.
So I was thinking when I sit down, pick up my violin and press my fingers to the strings, I feel in control of the full spectrum of music. The strings of a violin are continuous, meaning there are infinite possible notes that can be played. The limitless flexibility of what makes the violin such a powerful, the limitless flexibility is what makes the violin such a powerful instrument. However, the same power is what makes the violin so difficult to learn. I thought this and that should be together. Yeah. If you could bring it straight up. Yeah. Yeah. I think even when I'm reading it, it's sounding better, isn't it?
Mm.
Okay. And then I don't like that line. My violin makes all of them available to me.
I just feel like this needs to come later.
Come as a next paragraph.
Yeah, as much later when he starts introducing.
Yeah.
It needs to come much later.
Okay, so if that is the case, his introduction is done. He has a beautiful opening hook. However, the same power is what makes the violin difficult to learn. So
Mhm.
probably here, if we could put in, um,
It's very easy to get overwhelmed, so it takes time to harness the violin. No.
maybe I think my mind works a lot like the violin could be a line which is next there,
Yeah, he could move this.
right? I thought that's then his introduction is set. Yeah, I think. I mean, I think he should say, I think.
Really? Okay.
Okay, no, not needed.
I feel like it's just more powerful.
Yeah,
because
it's just beautiful. Yeah.
It is very easy to get overwhelmed with the endless notes, so it takes a long time to harness the notes that a violin gives you, and turn them into music. I'm able to draw endless connections.
Yeah, this is where he's completely lost his coherence.
Yeah, his train of thought. Yeah, this
Totally. Yeah, because I don't think he had a right introduction. Now my mind works a lot like the violin. He should start showing us that, when you play the sa re ga, it's not a tune. But if you play that sa re ga, sa re ga, sa re ga, then it kind of, something like that. And same way, when I was thinking about the, the whatever, something, math, okay, when I'm trying to solve, I go on and on reading it and trying to find different solutions till I actually hit upon the method of coming to an answer. So something like that I was thinking.
So you want him to kind of elaborate on his process of practicing the violin and to create like music.
Awesome. Yeah, that'll be great. Like how he practices, what is, I'm assuming for Carnatic music. So like he says, there are these oscillations called gamakams.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So that serves as a smooth transition between notes. So that's exactly what he should show of his mind, that, that my mind is so all over the place. I'm thinking about da 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 for MLT. I'm thinking about da 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 as a math competition. But what comes as a smooth transition is my love for, if I can sit down and whatever, do something, whatever is the one thing calming. Then are the ragams, okay? Which
ragams are down here.
Yeah, then this is a nice one, that with coding, I'm creating a rag of binary numbers.
A binary. I think this is a nice paragraph. It's just
a nice paragraph.
I'm actually not understanding this section.
I agree. I think just delete you're suddenly muted. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this just, I think he needs to rework this.
Yeah.
Right here. Rewrite to demonstrate or practicing then creating before introducing coding.
Also, Amy, are you struggling with the connect of the violin to the Carnatic music? Because I am.
Yeah, I don't understand. Like, he needs to introduce it, like Carnatic music, then in the introduction as well. If he's gonna
I mean, he has to say that, while I'm practicing the Carnatic music on my violin, something like that has to be brought out.
Yeah, I agree.
So will you just write that for him?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it here.
I'm so sorry, I'm not being able to help you at all. My bad.
No, not at all. I feel in control.
Oh, I think I have it now.
Good. My mind works a lot like the violin.
Oh, I'm there with you. Oh, thank God.
Yeah. So then this part needs to explain in introduction that you are playing music. Otherwise, it is unclear. Otherwise, the connection. I feel like this line could actually go.
What I'm doing is I'm also just copy pasting what we put in the case study for him.
Yeah. I think,
So for example,
yeah.
he could actually, sorry, you were saying something, Amy? Say it.
Oh no, I feel like for now, I just think he really needs to work on introducing and solidifying for the reader what how violin is something that he engages in for his own creativity and how he connects different topics, right, through music.
Right. So for example, when he's speaking about, so once he's done that, the first paragraph, then he says that, while practicing the gamakams while practicing my violin on the gamakams, which are the smooth transitions between notes. So it could probably be something like that, while practicing the gamakams. That serve as smooth transition between notes, which are the recurring oscillations that serve as a smooth transition between notes. It reminds me of how I use math theories of
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
To transition between the software, between the coding platforms of blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Something like that, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because I thought I will give him an example so he understands what we're talking about.
Yeah.
And how do we want him to end? So all of this is fine.
He needs to end on how he strings together like this.
Where are we?
Here, sorry, I'm copying. Should I just highlight it?
Yeah. My mind draws parallel.
No, just like I learned how to go from making noise to playing music, I have learned how to string my thought in a way that is
Oh, so this is actually a conclusion. Do you want to bring it down as a conclusion then? But what we've not been able to show is the chaos of his mind. And that Amy, we need.
Yeah,
he hasn't written about it. Correct. So let me just write it for him. Something like this, right? I mean, I don't know if I'm being able to say it, but
Yeah, that's fine. Like a drawing an analogy.
yeah, and it has to start from here and then kind of build up. That
Mhm.
before he goes into the gamma comes, he has to first show the disjointed practice. He has to
Yeah.
show us that it was so tough to just get that one string to make a sound which is not a noise but a melody. Similarly is his mind. There's just this such a cooking of a storm there that once he actually organizes it and practices the control, then what he has managed to create after that.
Okay. Shall we?
Shall we bring him in? Yeah, I think
Let's
so.
bring him in.
Okay.
I'll ask him to join the call now.
Ninad, is he in?
I'm just informing him to join now.
Oh, okay. And once we start reading the essay of the next kid, please tell them that they need to join in the next 5 minutes also and keep them in the waiting room.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm.
Um, who's going to be next? Molin, right?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Nareen, Molan, Ahmad, and then Anaya.
Okay. Nareen's not joined in yet, right?
No, ma'am. Let me just call him right now.
Yeah. I'm reading Molin's then in the meantime.
I don't like Mullen.
Sorry?
I don't like what Mullen has written.
He's in the waiting room, ma'am. Should I get him in?
Who's in the waiting room?
Nareen, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Hi, Nareen.
Hi.
Hi, Narain. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Amy, will you jump right in? So she's going to screen share the doc and we're going to just discuss what we can see. First off, I mean, I have to tell you this, Nareen, that essay that you wrote, I don't know how many hours you put, but this within the last 1.5 hours is already so much better.
Yeah, it's a lot better.
So, ignore all the green and yellow lines. It's a lot better, believe us. So we've actually changed your end and made a proper introduction for you. Amy, you want to read it?
Yeah. So this is the introduction you want to you want to introduce him to, right?
No, the what we've already written, right? We wrote the whole introduction for him. Just go up. Yeah, there.
Yeah. So basically, I think that we really liked how you started. When I sit down, pick up my violin, and press my fingers to the strings, I feel in control of the full spectrum of music. The strings of a violin are continuous, meaning there are infinite possible notes that can be. Now, we thought it made a lot more sense to actually put it to something you'd mentioned below here, which is that the limitless flexibility of the violin is what makes it a pop instrument, because it just kind of made a lot more sense to structure it this way, and to also state that, however, at the same time, it's the power of what makes a violin difficult also to learn. And then we decided to connect that directly and make you state that this is actually how your mind functions, right? This is how you function, right? To make it very clear.
Yeah. So if you notice, Naren, that's a beautiful introduction. Everything that you want to say, we put it down to my mind works a lot like the violin. It's tough, it's strings, it's powerful, fabulous. Now is where we are struggling. That whole paragraph we're finding a little irrelevant. And before you come to the Gana comes is what Amy and I feel a paragraph needs to be described of the chaos of your mind.
Yeah.
So I like Amy's comment. She's written that think of it as though you're practicing for the violin. You know, so imagine, oh no, before that, Amy was the connect between violin and Carnatic music, right?
Yeah, so you need to mention Carnatic music introduction. So I wrote it here. Explain an introduction, right, that you are playing Carnatic music. Otherwise, it's unclear because you can't start mentioning it far down below. It needs to be kind of explained in the beginning, right, in your introduction.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the reader will be like, what is he talking about now, right? It's all in your violin, right, and playing the violin.
So paragraph 1 is done. We've done it for you. Paragraph 2 is where you say, I play the violin while, you know, for the Indian classical music, the Carnatic or whatever, the Carnatic genre. Okay. Then you explain what is the Carnatic genre. Okay. Where there is a lot of vibrations, lots of oscillations, a little bit of explanation of that will be your second paragraph. Then comes your third paragraph. Where Amy has written that rewrite your, so here now imagine you're practicing, okay?
So imagine that you're practicing and creating your own tune before actually connecting it to coding, right? Because you cannot go from saying that it takes a long time to harness notes that the violin gives you and turn it into music, and then start talking about coding down here. You'll need to introduce, right, the concept of how is it that you create tunes, connect that with how you code and do other things, right? Connected to the different ways in which you create, right? How do you create? Essentially, you're introducing now your process of creating something, okay, through initially the violin, practicing, creating a tune, a melody, what happened, right?
So go back to when you started playing the violin. Could you play a whole tune on day 1?
No.
Right, so you must have done what we typically do, A, B, C, sa, re, ga, correct? Something like that. So go back to that days, okay? So imagine as you're practicing sa, re, ga, how disjointed, and it doesn't even sound like a melody, right? It's just 3 things pushed together. And you go on and on and on practicing it till you can play the whole sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa to make it sound like melody. And that's exactly what your mind does. It's chaos. Okay, it's throwing different things at you. Should I, you know, the math of the NG theory or the Rajiv Gandhi blah, 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 or the coding of this, and give specific examples of your mind. Don't give generic examples like, oh, my mind is so confused between math and computers. Give specific examples. And what do? You tame it to say, we will practice only one thing for the next few months so that I can make it perfect. Okay, so while you're in class and you're attending maybe 7 different subjects and 7 different teachers are coming, you are being tuned to one thing. how do I manage to complete this course, of machine learning tool to be able to create the project of whatever. Okay, so you
Yeah.
go on and on doing it till you complete a course which is 11 months, 11 week long in 1 week to be able to become the youngest, whatever. Okay, so that's your next paragraph. Then you speak about the gamakams. That, in playing the Carnatic music, a very important role is the gamakam, because those oscillations which bring the smooth transition. And it's similar in your mind. You need a smooth oscillation. So what is your smooth oscillation? Where are you completely calm down to know that this is going to harness my notes? So think about it and write it here. Similarly, the ragams. Now that we connect, we actually liked. The coding.
Yeah.
I can string my ideas.
Yeah. I actually really like that line.
Yeah.
Here I wrote, yeah, this is the reason why I wrote this again is because you need to definitely include that you're playing Carnatic music further up. You can't just mention it here.
Yeah.
Is it making sense? And then in your...
So I feel like the main thing, I like the sentence. I think this is actually the crux of your essay, how you showing how you went from making noise to playing music and how you've now learned to string your thoughts together in a way that is coherent. I don't really actually understand what you mean by beneficial. So maybe you'll find a different way of expressing that. Because
I don't know if I need to include that, but what I essentially meant is in a way that actually contributes to discussions.
No, I don't think we should mention it. I think the essay is so personal. Why are we getting into anything else?
Yeah, true.
And then I also want you to say that like before you actually go on to stating this at the end in your introduction, I want you to actually give examples of ways in which you will use these string of thoughts, right, to be coherent. Like in what scenarios would it be, like when you're coding, when you are I don't know, training for some other activity? Like I want you to give examples because it's more about your approach, what you're actually describing.
It's actually when it comes to problem solving most of the time where this stands out. So in that PAC course, right, that was about combinatorics in computer science.
Yeah.
So the professor there was pretty impressed with me because I was able to come up with creative solutions and good explanations to the solutions for problems.
Yeah. So in your conclusion, I would just want you to kind of list off a bunch of these sort of scenarios, right, where in which you have already learned to go from making noise to actually playing music. And not in the literal sense, but it's like that's your approach. It's like taking your time to practice, turn chaos into something that's coherent, right?
Validation. And that's what, till you don't give those personal examples. So even now you said in solving problems, but tell us what problem and how did you creatively solve it? If you can go specific, the more specific you go with your examples, the better your story will be. But net, the beginning is fantastic. The end is brilliant, the way Amy's put it. Like, I learned how to go from making noise to playing music. I've learned different ways of stringing my thoughts together in a way that is coherent. Is a beautiful end. It's so amazing.
Yeah.
So we've got you the opening hook, we've got you the closing hook, we've told you what your center story is, where basically you're practicing your music and you realize how music has helped you approach different elements of your life in a more systematic way. Remove the chaos, bring the solution.
Yeah.
So good job. You
Yeah.
have the next few hours to make sure that you put in a solid draft. Second draft.
Solid. Yeah.
Sounds good. Naren, are you happier with this?
Yeah, I think I'm happier with this. Actually, I had trouble coming up with the examples. I felt like my middle content was a bit generic just because I couldn't tie it to anything specific, any specific instance.
you just gave a specific instance that the coach was very impressed with you. Where did it come from? It came from your ability to string theory. You could take the probabilities of this in your mind. Your mind is like an instrument. It knows that this instrument and this rag together will sound beautiful. So you have to be able to show us your mind like an instrument, that it didn't seem to make sense this and this in that class, but I managed to combine it together and put it forward enough to impress the professor. But be specific. Give us the example of what you were doing that day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Is there anything else you want to go over or ask?
Yeah, actually, like now coming to the prompts, right?
Don't think
Like,
about the
Don't
prompts.
worry.
Please
worry
don't
about
think about the prompts.
Don't.
Get your
No.
essay in place first.
then
You're
like
working
it
the
will most
wrong way.
likely end up under prompt 7.
You
But
don't
that's
have
fine.
to
Don't
study.
stress about that. That's not
Okay.
relevant. We're actually just more stressed out, not stressed. We're actually more concerned about your first draft. So let us first iron this out, right? You first get a full first draft. Spend the next spend the rest of the day working on this, right? I think you need to actually sit down and think a little bit more before, like you said, like go from making noise to something coherent. And I think you need to do the same thing right now.
And
So-
you have to
Okay.
go back to your practice lessons. How did you move?
Yeah.
So use the right words. It's very interesting for even a counselor, admissions officer to read the way you these gamakams, the ragas into your essay. So you should be able to pull 2-3 more words. But remember, Naren, something Amy told you, don't think by the brain, think by the heart. You're doing this very tangibly. Let me find the prompt. Let me then try and
No.
address it.
No, you have to
It's
write from
not
here.
the smart. Yeah, it's not the smarter way. Believe me.
Yeah, no.
Doesn't get you anywhere. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So we're done. Naren, work on this. You have to be able to pull out the intangibility and the tangibility together. A large chunk of your job has come beautifully from just this much. Your introduction, your end, solid. So just work on your middle now.
Yeah.
Yeah, super.
Thanks.
Bye, Naren. See you tomorrow.
All right.
All right.
Thanks a lot. See you.
Bye.
Okay, we have to read Molin, sorry. Okay.
I kind of just want him to rewrite it.
Oh shoot, that much?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I just don't think he's understanding what I was trying to convey. So I think he should just restart, which is okay.
Amy, I still feel that number thing will work better for you.
Yeah.
I
think
don't
so
know if
too.
I'm getting stuck up.
No, I think you're right. After seeing him this way, I don't think he's actually understanding it. So
he's gone on another spiel altogether.
let's just tell him to maybe try writing.
Try that draft.
Honestly, because this is not at all.
Because he's gone into writing a book now. He doesn't have the scope for a book. It's 650 words.
And on top of that, it's not about.
It's got nothing.
I don't
He's
know.
suddenly
It's not
talking about the PIL. We don't even know what's happened in his life.
happening in there. Yeah, just no. I don't think he understands really how to execute this right now. And statistics one might actually work better for him. It'll be more punchy.
Yeah, because even when he wrote the form, I have a feeling he could just go on that aspect of his life.
Yeah.
Okay. 1 second, I'm going to get water.
Yeah.
Dinant and Molin.
Hi.
Hi, Molin.
Hi.
Hi, Malin.
Hello. What do you think about the essay? What are the changes I should make?
All right. So, Malin, can I start, Priyanka? Yeah, I actually think, Malin, what's happened is I actually, after reading this, I actually think that you should go with the first topic that we discussed, which is like the statistics, right?
Okay.
And facts. And the main reason why is it's much punchier and it's not going to kind of derail you from really getting to the heart of the what you portraying what you've actually overcome, right? I think it'll give you a lot more room to talk about the things that you've achieved and kind of your journey overcoming bullying, right? In a much more engaging way. Because what's happened is talking about sailing, I think, has kind of distracted us, right? Rather than complemented it. So I think you should definitely go with the statistics, the hard, kind of cold statistics approach for your introduction and your conclusion.
I'm going to chime in here, Molin. The reason being, if you read your first paragraph, what is happening is to come to something that was so dramatic, you are having to build the scenario of the calmness, the tension in the air, the adrenaline rush. And both Amy and I are feeling we don't have the luxury of words to be able to do it. Okay. And
Yeah.
also, when you did suddenly throw it, it was like the harsh wind conditions were the bullies and the way they mistreated me. And you're like, is it something casual? Have I read something wrong? Is he talking about the wind being the bully? Because it's just not coming out.
True.
And it's so powerful that I'm scared for anyone to take it casual. Because, hey, please make no mistake, this is not casual.
Yeah.
Okay?
And I don't want the sailing to, like I said, kind of take away from your experience. It's not really complementing it. It's actually distracting us completely from understanding what you're going through. So I think definitely go with the first topic.
So
Okay.
we're going to reiterate what that was. Amy, I'm going to say what I had got. If
Yeah.
you could just add so he knows exactly what he is working on. Okay, I'm just going to tell you what I had written.
I think the action would be more like statistics oriented. I don't know exactly what statistics you had said. I can't remember.
Yeah, no, I have it here. So I'm just going to read it so that, we're both on the same page this time with him now. So here's what I was saying. Amy, you can stop screen sharing so we can see each other easier. Awesome. Yeah. So what I was saying, Amy, was going to be something like X number of days. So I'll just say X, X days, X posts, X people, X varieties of bullying, all because of X pounds of excess baggage, excess physical baggage that I carried. Literally is, and this could be a question mark or a full stop. Was it worth it? Full stop, question mark, up to it. And then I would move on to straight his story that, whatever, Molin, how many years have you gone
9.
through this? Yeah. So, for 9 straight years, I have changed 3 schools and bullied by so many people and talk about, all the various ways that he was bullied, squeezing and spanking and abusing and water spraying, whatever. And if that stopped because of the change of school, then it continued through social media. If that stopped, then then the weight. So that was going to be his second paragraph after the first line. And then he speaks about the lockdown, where suddenly he didn't have to go to school when it was online. And he had the perspective of being with the family, with his brother being in town. And they started working on going for treks and sailing and a little bit about that. And and how then he managed to take him outside of that situation. He could speak about where I never managed to come out of it. Going back to school every day would literally just make me go back into that drowning kind of a syndrome daily basis. But that 2 years of no school actually allowed me to step out and rethink, what does it mean to me? And that's when I realized that I want to fight against it. I want to help other students. And then you talk about where you tried filing the public litigation. But first you went to school and the school told you that, oh, but it didn't happen through the internet of the school. So what could we do? Then you went back to social media. You went back to the parents requesting them. And then you started your own Instagram page till you started getting messages from other children saying help. And that's when you realize it's way bigger than you. And then you move on to, you went into filing the public litigation, the podcast, the da-da-da, all the things you did, how you did, what inspired you to do. And then eventually your last line is, again, I still have a lot of statistics that define me and whatever, da-da-da. But, but now show is totally different. It's now 2 awards in sailing, 4 petitions in my name, 12 podcasts, 2 videos, or whatever you're making. So the numbers change, but all the positive aspects come into the number now vis-a-vis the previous. So Amy, that was in my mind the story. Do you just jump in and say what you think?
Yeah. Ouch. I'm just a little bit worried that it's a lot to pack in. So your bullying paragraph after the statistics doesn't need to be so long. I would say move straight into being in lockdown and going on treks and sailing, and how that kind of removed you from that environment for a little bit, for you to realize that there's a lot of positivity in what you've actually gone through. And then you can go straight into your IPL, like filing that, the podcast that you had made, things like that. Yeah. Just to make sure you're not dragging out the bullying, because I feel like you get it over with very fast in the introduction.
Yeah, you're right. Because your sailing, we realized it went on too long. So it's literally just facts versus figures now. So yeah, I don't think you have more than 75 words to talk about your bullying.
Okay, sounds good. I'll work on it then. When do I submit this?
I think we gave the deadlines. I think tonight you have to submit the copy so that tomorrow morning we can work on it, right?
30. That's it.
Yeah.
Ninad, can you just repost that message that I put in, please? Because there's so many messages happening here. It's difficult to find it now.
Right away. I'll do that now.
Okay, I have it. Draft has to be sent to us, not as a Word attachment. In our change it now as a draft. The changes have to be made on the Google Drive by 6:30 p.m. sharp.
Okay, so I need to change the entire essay, right? By 6:30.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Questions, Molin?
I have no questions.
Are you feeling similarly to what we are feeling?
Yes, exactly. I understood as to how you're thinking right now, so I'll be able to answer that better.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, that's why Amy and I wanted to give you paragraph on paragraph so that you kind of got it completely.
Sounds good.
Cool. Great, Molin. So 6:30, I hear from you.
Done.
Bye.
Bye. See you.
Bye. We have Imad next.
I'm going to use the restroom though.
Yeah. Where is Sarah? Oh, Barney's out.
Yes, ma'am.
Amy, I'm going to take 5 minutes to read the essay. I haven't read it yet.
So I think Imad's understood
Yeah.
story.
So cute.
Yeah.
It's a
just
little long.
a little long, but this is the tone. This is kind of the storytelling approach that we're looking for. Yeah. It's long though.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah. Very.
Aw. Oh, I love it. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. His questions are also
Yeah.
so. So when he says 14 years later, I made my way to the meeting hall of the wildlife nature, everyone is supposed to. So maybe he could just say 14 years later,
Yeah.
as the head of the conservation society of as the head of the conservation department of wildlife nature protection society, I was, I presented the and the. Yeah, correct. I didn't need, yeah, I don't think we need to do I entered the room with both excitement and nervous. I think now is when we just show him as, bang, I'm doing this. I was presenting our yearly plans from the approval of the board or something.
I'm not sure. I will have to ask
Okay.
the structure of the
Yeah,
organization.
makes
Those
sense.
are things he'll be able to iron out. A feeling that was pure and warm overcame me. Yeah. Overcame.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Yeah, so this definitely needs to be condensed. I would say cut this in half.
Yeah. And then probably after this is where he says, the journey that started in my bedroom.
Yeah.
Carried, whatever he did now.
Yeah. And then he can mention because of his love for animals and the environment, he's started working on the blue carbon toolkit and the impact that that's had.
Blue carbon. So now is where he really has to be able to build this part, which is very important.
Yeah, because that's the message. Everything else is like context.
Yeah.
What he's saying about himself is he's somebody with a passion that does something about it, right?
Something, right? End.
Yeah, the ending he can.
So this actually can literally just come here.
Yeah.
What will be his end? We'll have to go back to, there's a place where he says they had to leave Sarah behind or Barney behind when they shifted or something.
Yeah.
Or if she has any pet animals now, or if there is anything.
Yeah. Yeah, anything that's connecting to continuing to take care of animals around him, right?
Something back to his bedroom, I think, because it really seems to be where everything began in his life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and how do we cut this?
We don't need to cut it right now.
He'll do it. Awesome. Great. I think let's get him on.
Mm-hmm.
This was beautiful. This was easy one.
Great. I think he's obviously a very strong writer.
Didn't think it would be so easy. Yeah, such a great writer. Hi, Ahmad.
Hi, Ahmad.
Hi.
Ahmad, we are very impressed. I think you've nailed the sort of descriptiveness and imagery and kind of telling of show and telling, right, aspect of the common app. Yeah.
I didn't anticipate you to be able to do it, Ahmad. It was very tricky because it was a child to a full-grown, caring citizen, constant. I'm very impressed, I have to say.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
Well,
great.
Obviously, we have suggestions. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, Amy, do you want to go ahead and screen share again? Sorry about that.
Yeah, 1 second. So, we're looking at the same file. 1 second. What I've written here is the introduction, like the starting line is great because I want to find out who Sarah is. And then this section is beautiful. It's just really a little long. So I would condense and cut it in half, right? You don't go in so much detail. I appreciate you doing that. I can see that definitely you love all of, you love Bella and the way that you talk about honey, like things like that. Like I really enjoyed that, but definitely needs to be condensed. Now we also made some edits here just to kind of for you to get to the point of mentioning that you are head of conservation, right? And describing kind of the first meeting that you had, right? And introducing the fact that you love animals. About it. Now, to connect the two, we're thinking of kind of the next paragraph being something along the lines of this, the journey that started in my bedroom, started working on, and the journey started in your bedroom, but then it's now evolved to you working on carbon toolkit, right? You've always loved animals, and kind of like what started off as fun conversations and later morphed into a loving relationship with my pets, and then blah blah blah. This, right? So this position, and then the next paragraph is where you talk about the blue carbon toolkit, how you creating that, why you did that, right? And the impact it's actually had on your community, right?
Imad, remember, this is the single most important part of your essay. All that loveliness is to introduce the essay, but the truth is that this is where it all matters. Okay, so you've got to explain it in detail. What did you do next, and then next, and then next? How did animal lead to environment? How did environment lead to the blue carbon? How did it lead to conservation? And eventually, how did it lead you to become the what did he become, Amy? I forgot, the president or whatever you were of the WN
Head of
Society.
conservation. Yeah.
Yeah. So all of that is where the story comes.
Yeah.
And then comes your end line. So obviously it's also your learning. What did you learn through that journey? You have to talk about. Don't just list it.
Yeah.
You know, every moment where you failed, you learned how you overcame it. Try and talk about those.
All right. Yeah.
And then your ending would ideally you bring us back to your bedroom where it all basically started. And if Bella's around, please talk about Bella and kind of reflecting on how far you've come since playing with the stuffed animal.
I'd even be interested to, if you could tell me, you know, you could flash forward another 4 years later and say, I'm in my college dorm room and I'm probably the only human being here which has stuffed toys, you know, which has my stuffed toys hanging around my bed. And
or like a stuffed animal that looks like Bella.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, hopefully someone will come across and ask me, what's his name? You know, something like that. You could literally end that way. So, you know, we know it's a conversation that begins again. So that'll be a nice end, actually. What do you think, Amy? Because we've done 14 years later, so we can do another 4 years later.
Another 4 years ahead. Why not?
2 years later, I'm the only one with a whatever stuffed chicken on my bed, and I'm hoping someone will come and say, hey, what's her name? You know, something like that. Beautiful end.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, even I think it's back to the softness that you started with.
All right. Yeah.
Imad, very impressed. I have to tell you this.
I'm also very impressed. Well done. I'm looking forward to reading like your fleshed out first draft. Yeah.
So Imad, any questions for us?
I think that covered most of it. Yeah.
Cool. So you know your deadline is 6:30. Once you update it on the Google Doc, send out a message so we know we've got it, because then Amy and I are going to be working the night to make sure we put in our edits.
Yeah.
So yeah, sounds good. All the best, Imad. Thank you.
Right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, we have still one to go.
And Ananya.
Ninad, make sure you put a message that as soon as each one of them put in their edits on the Google Doc, they must put a message so that Amy and I can start going through it. And Amy, you and I will do exactly what we did. We'll go on the Google Doc. We'll both give our comments. And then we can discuss it together before we discuss it with the child once.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. I haven't read, let me just quickly go through Anaya's essay now.
Yeah. I actually like it.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that because I was very concerned about her. She and Naren are really the concern factors for me.
Yeah.
Naren's a problem.
Naren, yeah, I'm worried about. And Mullen.
Yeah, Mullins is happiness a good joke, or is a good joke equal to happiness?
I think we can make her edit that, but I actually like the way she's like structured everything.
Yeah, but should I just change that?
Yeah,
And
you can.
just comment.
Yeah.
Something like this, is that okay?
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Very powerful, huh? She's managed.
I think she's done well. I think it's because she has the ability to be creative in writing. So I think this is why it worked quite well. Very teary-eyed on my way back.
So many mistakes. I'm kidding.
It's okay. That's all right. That's like the last thing we really fix.
Okay, this is where she's gone a little. She needed one small paragraph to say, for me, I now know the answer. Art is equal to happiness.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm just going to put a comment. Then she can go into this.
Yeah. She's a good writer.
Is this clear how it's benefited her, Amy? Grateful for the several ways in which art has benefited me?
No, I mean, she kind of has tried to say that picking.
Yeah. It just came out it's come out suddenly.
Yeah.
How did this happen suddenly when I opened the first copy? Where did this come from now?
I think she is trying to conclude.
So is there am I feeling that the end shouldn't have come so soon? There was something else that was missing.
No, the ending would have been about cognitive canvas. It would have been about and how art has
And
happened.
where, I mean, where happiness is not about your happiness, but the happiness of
Others.
others. Yeah. Oops. Yeah, I think it should have been something like this. She can say when I opened the first copy of whatever cognitive campus.
Yeah.
Yeah, should we remove this then? The fresh new smell diffused into the air. Maybe this should go away, right?
Yeah.
Just become, I now understand. You know, this girl has actually almost managed to write her essay.
Yeah. I agree. She only needs like minor edits. Truly.
Yeah. Wow.
She's
Ooh,
got it. She's got it. Good.
wow. I'm impressed with us. I was just telling, I had a call with Shilpa before. I was telling, I said, the two of us have connected so well. So she's saying, yeah, both of y'all must be going crazy about essays. So I said, yeah, exactly.
It's the part that I love the most. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. Ninad, bring her on. I think we're ready for her. Hi, Anaya.
Hi, Anaya.
Before we say anything, Anaya, what are you feeling about what you've written?
I mean, I think it's fine, but it's very broken. Like it's not connected. I need to find a way to connect like all the paragraphs and all the ideas.
Did you enjoy writing it?
I don't. I'm also sure about it right now, so I don't know.
I have to tell you, we absolutely enjoyed reading it.
Yeah.
You're one of the only kids where Amy and I are almost admitting to ourselves that your first draft
Is almost done. It's great.
But I mean, is it connected? Because I felt like it was too long.
it's the disconnection that's bringing the
That
connection.
actually bringing the connect. Yeah, exactly.
Because you're thinking, ooh, is this happiness? Oh no,
Yeah.
maybe that's happiness. And that's the disconnect.
Yeah.
In your case, it actually works, right? For most students, like transitions, I'd be like, where are your transitions? But in your case, this structure really works. The distinct sort of like moments where you're asking yourself and through different scenarios, is this happiness? But is this happiness? And then you finally come to cognitive canvas and finding that art for you is happiness, right?
I'll work on that, the conclusion.
No, that also we've actually done for you, unfortunately. But what we are going to help you is, one, you'll obviously need to make everything shorter. Every story is long. Plus, there are little minor elements, and Amy will screen share and we'll just talk about it.
Yeah, let me just screen share 1 second.
But I have to say, you got it bang on, because, you know, what is happiness? And it's that whole thought of happiness which has got you to, and that's what we wrote as your final line, that this is actual happiness. You love it. So
Yeah.
Did you want me to share, Amy? Oh, she's actually disappeared. So
Yeah.
I'll share. I'll share it with you. Ninad, Amy seems to have got cut off,
I'll check with her, ma'am.
but I'll start. So a few years ago, da-da-da, da-da-da. So is happiness a good joke? No, beta, it's the other way around. Okay, does a joke equal to happiness? Okay, because everything is equal to happiness eventually. Okay,
Yeah. Okay.
you'll obviously have to cut down.
Mm.
Okay, the mathematical induced question, everything that you come, it needs to be made half. Okay, is happiness a well-solved math sum? Very good. 1 kilometer, da 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 da, again has to be cut out. I felt sheer joy. Is happiness thus, because so it's still connecting. Is thus the thrill of a good workout? Tears rolled out. Is happiness about a day's meal? Okay. And then you say, now you come to since I could hold a paint. Now, we didn't want that. We wanted this. We wanted one short paragraph showing you, where is it? Okay. One paragraph showing you do art. Okay. So again, a small story that, at the end of a stress or whatever, at the end of the exams, you're sitting and you're peacefully sitting and completing a form or whatever you're doing. And suddenly, you know the answer. Art equals to happiness. Okay, so you have to say it like that. Oh, I suddenly know the answer. It's art equals to happiness. And then you go into since I could first hold, da da da, da da da. You do that whole thing and you talk about the first book of cognitive canvas. And a little more details we need about the cognitive canvas because you've filled up your space a lot more with the stories. So a little more about cognitive canvas here. So some more details, I'm going to put it here. What is the book? How is it defined? And, the exercises, etc. And then your final is going to be, when I open the first copy of Cognitive Canvas that jumps straight from the printing press to my excited hands, the fresh smell of a new book diffused into the air. I now understand what real definition of happiness is. It's when we can bring happiness to others.
Okay.
And that you will continue to look for ways to do so in the future or whatever, So that's your essay. So yeah. Very solid. See, you were stressed about nothing. Your common app will be ready hopefully by tomorrow itself. Yeah. So beautiful. So you have to do all the changes, etc. by 6:30 today. Put a message on the group once you're done so we can work on it and give you our suggestions finally tomorrow. And then, we have that 3-day blah, blah, blah. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, but very impressed. I have to say that. Yeah. And yeah, so your end line will be about happiness. It's connected so beautifully through. If you notice, the disjoint paragraphs are because the ends are connected in each.
Those are connected.
That structure, unusual structure, very good structure. Amy, I took the liberty of just telling her what I was required.
Sorry, I don't know what happened.
No, don't worry at all. So I just told her, we read her till the end line. I told her we need some more details here, cognitive canvas, as well as that art paragraph. And yeah, and she has to shorten all the happiness paragraphs.
Yes, all the happiness paragraphs. Correct. Yeah.
Anaya, questions?
No, I know what I do.
Got it. You're looking a lot more relieved, and I'm happy to see that.
No, honestly, Anaya, you've got like a great essay. Like you don't have too much reworking to do, which is amazing.
Is happiness a good mentor? Therefore, we should ask ourselves.
Yeah, it is.
You gave her a good idea indeed.
Yeah, I agree.
Awesome.
Anaya.
So thank you, Anaya. Bye. All the best. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye. Okay, I've got to stop screen sharing.
Yeah, I'm impressed. She did really well. was not.
Tell me which ones you're concerned about. Then
I
we
would
can
say
wrap up.
Naren and Malin for sure.
Yeah.
Naren and Malin. Those two I'm a little worried.
Yeah, I think Soumya is decent. Anaya
Yeah,
is
Swami will
brilliant.
get it. Yeah,
Imad is brilliant.
is brilliant. Yeah, I would say Naren and Malin for sure.
So what we're going to try and probably have to do is divide ourselves with them tomorrow, because the rest will
Yeah.
probably do a good job. We may have to take out another half an hour with each one of them getting to write it with us, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
So you want to choose Naren or Molin?
I don't know. I'll go with, who do I think I would do? Maybe Naren. I'll try.
Yeah.
Naren. Yeah.
I think so. I personally feel you're more connected to that story than, and I'm probably a little more connected to
More
Molin.
connected to Malin. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, so if we need, we're not going to tell them that today, but if we need,
Yeah.
we'll have to do that tomorrow. Awesome.
Yeah.
So we actually did finish at 4:02, which is quite a remarkable task. We're going to meet tomorrow at 10.
Yeah, perfect. Well, I'm really happy that everything went the way it did. I don't know. I think
I think you and I did a fabulous job together.
yeah, really. I think the students will be quite happy with the final results of their essays.
Every single idea that we pulled up has actually worked. I mean, not in the case of Molin, but in Molin's case, I felt that he went into a spiel. Otherwise, sailing would have worked very well too.
Yeah, he didn't really quite understand how it would be used as a metaphor.
He did.
I was like, forget it. It's fine.
Yeah. I think he understood that too.
Yeah, exactly.
But I'm so relieved. So thank you. It was really nice doing this.
Yeah, thank you for you.
Excited to do more such things with you now.
Yeah, me too. I actually really, this is my favorite part of the entire college.
I agree. Perfect. So great job. Thank you. Please go
Thank
be
you.
with your family now. I'll go and do that same.
Yeah,
and
I
we'll see
will.
each other tomorrow.
Yeah, see you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Ninad.
Thank you, Ninad. Bye-bye.
Bye, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Bye.